All right, so today we are looking at text editors in Linux. Text editors in Linux. So text editors, they are used to create or modify text files. Okay, we use them to edit config files and even write scripts or write codes. So they are very important almost everywhere. As IT or computer science students, you know the importance of the text editors. But there are a number of them we use in Linux. And the two most popular ones are the VI or Vim and the Nano text editors. The fact is that these are command line editors. They are not graphical editors, like the JEdit or Notepad or any other editor. It's command line. So the way you navigate around it is to use commands. And that is what you want to look at today. We'll tackle the two, Nano and then the VI or Vim. These are the two most popular text editors around. Especially VI or Vim is the most popular one. Okay, so I will look at the two. So we are going to start with the Nano editor. It's a very simple, user-friendly text editor. Okay, so we want to start with that one. It's very easy and simple to use. So as usual, I would like you to start your environment so that we can do this together. As you are aware, this is a practical course. It's not in theory at all. Everything we do is practical. So whatever we do, we try our best to demonstrate. So open up your shell or your terminal so we can start practicing the editors. All right, so have you opened your terminals?
Okay.
Okay, all right. So first of all, you want to be sure where you are. Okay, so as usual, it's a PWD, just to be sure. So anytime you open your terminal, it takes you to your home directory. Okay, you want to list the content to be sure what you have there. So these are the list of directories you have there. So we'd like to create a directory where you work from. Okay, we'd like to create a directory where you always want to try. So I want to create a directory and give it a name, practical. So the command mkdir, practical. Let's say practical 1. You want to create a directory called practical 1. Okay. Just to confirm, you do the ls to be sure that is there. Then want to navigate into the directory. So I want to go back into that directory. And that's it. Okay. So we've created a directory called practical 1. And then we navigate into the directory. So we check to see whether there is something there. There is nothing. So we'd like to start. To create a file using the text editor Nano, we can use a command to create a file or to open an existing file. For now, we don't have any file, so we have to create one. So we use a command Nano. Okay, we use a command Nano. And then you will call a file maybe sample.txt. So this command Nano will create the file. If it doesn't exist, if it exists already, it will open it. So since the file doesn't exist, we'll use a keyword Nano and then a file name. And then we'll hit on enter. So I open the text editor, it brings us here. The whole idea is that it's a command line editor. It's not like the graphical one where you have to click here and then no. Everything is on the command line. So this is the interface for Nano. Are you with me? Are you following?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay, all right. It's a very simple interface. Okay, but everything is command line. So we'd like to type some few words here. We want to create some content. So we just go ahead and type. So like, hello. This is my first Nano file. I said that, oh, Nano is simple and easy to use. So you open, you type whatever content you want to type. Okay. So that, how do we save a file? Per the options we have there, which option will we use to save a file? Let's give you some clue. Which option will help us save a file? Is it the write out? So to save a file in Nano, there's this one here. So that will be Control O. If you finish typing and you want to save the file, you have to use command Control O. So you press your Control and then O. You have this option, write to file. Okay, then you just enter. So when you do this, the file has been saved. Okay. So let me just append something new. So anytime you start typing and you watch the file name, it has the asterisk telling us that it has not been saved. So if you want to save the file, you do your Control O and then hit on enter. It means the file has been saved. So if you want to exit from the Nano, you press Control X, exit. Okay, if you want to exit, it's Control X. And then you exit your Nano. Okay. To verify, we can use a cat to see. You can do cat sample.txt. And then you see the content. All right. So that's how simple it is to use a Nano to create a text file. It's that simple. All right. If you want to open, you can just use the word Nano. So you can use the same command to open or to create a new file. Because the file exists already, if I use Nano, the file name, it will open the existing content. But if the file doesn't exist, it will create a new one. All right. So that's the way it works. How to create a simple file in Nano. All right, so let's exit. We want to create another file again in Nano. You want to create another file in Nano. So the word is Nano. Maybe I'll call this one simple2.txt. So the word is Nano simple2.txt. So right here, I want to have a list of fruits like apple, mango, banana, maybe pineapple. Just have a list of fruits. Cherry. Let's have a list of fruits.
Watermelon.
So you can save the file. Save the file. Which command do we use to save the file? Which command will we use to save a file?
Control plus O.
Control O. All right, so Control O will save the file. Okay, and then you enter. The enter is very important. All right, so now I want to try cut and paste. You want to try cut and paste. For instance, you want to cut the text mango and come and paste it under cherry. All right, we want to cut. So one thing is that to navigate the file, you can use the arrow keys up and down to navigate the files. Up and down, left, right. Okay. So we want to cut the word mango. So make sure that the cursor is at the test mango. It should be blinking at where the mango is. Now, which command we use to cut? Which command will we use to cut?
Control plus K.
So we try Control K. All right, it goes away. To paste, move the cursor to where you want it to be pasted. And to paste is what? Control U. Control U. All right. You want to save is Control O. Everything is just commands. And if you want to exit is Control X. So these are some basic things you want to do with a text editor. So now you want to write a simple program. You want to write a program using a text editor. So let's exit from here. Control X to go away. We like to create a simple script. Okay, we want to create a simple script using Nano. You want to create a script just to display hello world. Okay, so we'll use a keyword Nano, and then we'll call the file hello dot scripts have the extension sh. So we'll use a keyword Nano and then the file name, and then we'll just enter. The extension is very important. That shows you the type of file. Okay. Has any of you ever written a script before in Linux? Anyone ever tried? So to write a script, we start with this hash with exclamation and then bin/bash shebang. Okay, just as if you are doing C++, you do your include and all of that. So, but if you are writing a script, we start with this hashtag and then exclamation and then a bin bash. All right, that's the way we start a script. The first word in a script, that's always, this hashtag, this exclamation / the bin and the bash to represent the script. All right, so this is a very simple script which displays the word hello world. So to display something is a keyword echo. Okay, all we are saying is hello world. Realize that for most programming languages, that's the way we start. Okay. So we have just a simple script. All it says is hello world. As simple as that. So that is just it. A script that says hello world. Okay. So we'll go ahead and save the file and then exit. So let's save the file. Control O, we enter. To exit is Control X. So let's list the file. So we'll do ls to check. So the file is there, hello.sh. The file is hello.sh. Now to run a script, you first have to make it executable. To run a script, you first have to make the file executable. So first, let's check the permissions of the file. What command will you use to check the permissions of the file? If I want to check
-L.
so ls space -l. Okay. So we have to make the file executable. You have to make the file executable. So what command can we use to make the file executable? If you want to change the mode, what command do you use?
Change mode.
Uh-huh. So this command will make the file executable. All right. So chmod plus X, we want to make the file executable. And then the file name. So after this, we can do the ls minus l again to see. I'm here to teach you permissions, but we are starting here. So before making the file executable, you realize that the owner, the group, and the others, okay, they have no permission for execution. But when we introduce this command, we are making a file executable. So that's all that it means to make a file executable. We are changing the permissions on the file. We are here to do this, but at least you understand this thing. So before you can run a script, you have to make it executable. Okay. So that's how you make it executable. And to run the script, to run any executable file is a dot slash the file name. To run a script or to run any executable file is dot / and then the file name. And then when you enter, it will display whatever that the script contains. Okay, it displays whatever the script contains. Are you able to execute your scripts? This is a very basic script, which just displays hello world. Are you able to run the script? Are you able to run a script? Talk to me. Is your script running? Is it showing the hello world? Is your script showing hello world? Or you want us to take it again? I need feedback from you. Are you able to run the script to display hello world?
So please let's take it again. It's me and the permission denied.
Permission denied. Anyway, all right. So let's take this again. Let's do this again. But is any of you able to run the script? Was any of you able to run that simple script? Let me have that feedback, yes or no? All of you on the call. All right, so you want to create another script. You want to create another script. We'll call it example.sh. It's not been a good name. All right, so let's call it example.sh. What we are saying is that for scripts, they always end with a sh. Okay, so the file name is example.sh. So just hit on enter. We are writing a new script. Okay. Like I say that to start a script, we use the hashtag !bin/bash. So that is the starting point for every script. Okay. Just like we do include and everything. To write a script, that's the way we start. This time around, I want to ask a user to make some input. Okay, so I use a keyword echo. And also enter name. Enter name. I have to capture the name. Okay, I have to find a way to capture the name. So there's a command which says read name. So you enter a name, then you call a command read. This is just a variable name. So whatever name you enter is captured and assigned to this variable here, name. I want to capture the age of the person as well. So perhaps I'll do echo. So enter name, enter age. Enter age. To capture, again do read, and I'll say age. I hope this line is clear to you. I mean, where you are, you should understand what is happening with this code. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, so this will capture name, this will capture age. They want to display it to the screen. Okay, so we'll do echo. Perhaps hello. To display the variable, we use $sign. Say hello name. You are this years old. You are this years old. I doubt whether there is a terminator. Let's lay the terminators. I doubt whether this script is familiar to which is closest to which language that you know.
It's plus plus.
C++. All right, so let's save and try to execute it, and let's see. It's a very simple file. It asks for the name and age, and then it displays that. So let's try to save. Control O. You enter. You exit. Control X to exit. So do the ls to be sure that the file is there. All right. So to run a script, what you do is that you have to make the file executable. Okay. So that's where we use a chmod space plus X, and then you call the file name. Okay. But prior to that, you can check the permissions, just be sure. And then to change the permission, chmod. Okay. Space plus X, and then the file name. Then you hit on enter. You verify the permissions on the file. Okay. So now it's an executable file. To run, this the dot / and then the file name. So when I run, the first thing asks me to enter name. So you enter a name. It asks for age. And then it displays, oh, hello, Joe, you are 12 years old. That's it. So this is scripting, very basic. All right. And the language is very simple. So let me open the file again so I use Nano. So this is just the file, very basic file. So I asked the closeness, or which language is closer to this? Somebody said there's a C++. It's a very simple file, very, very simple.
PHP.
Any of you know how to program Python?
Huh?
Do you know how to program Python? I think it's closer to Python. Is it working for you?
Hey, this one way.
This file rather is a bit difficult, it works. Anyway, the fact is I just have to make it work, okay? So all that we are doing, we are demonstrating the use of a text editor to run our basic files and do some basic things, okay? All right, so let's exit. You guys know Java, right? You can program Java, true or false?
It's
Yes. So I want to create a Java file, a simple hello world Java application, okay? So Nano, uh, let me call file.java. So the beauty is that it works, just give the right extension and then you are good to go. So nano file.java. So Java, how do I start? What is the first statement in Java? The file name is file. So what should be the first sentence in Java? We just want to write a simple hello world in Java. Yes, let's go ahead. How do you write Java? How do you start? Public what?
Public class hello.
So public class,
Hello.
the file, watch the file name. It has to be the same. Okay. The name of my file is file. And in Java, the file name has to be the same as the class name. All right. So we open and close a brace. So Java, that's the way we start. Okay. It's public class and then the file name. Then followed by what? Public
Static void.
static void. So what is this thing I'm writing? What is it? Public static void main. What is a main? Mind that is case sensitive. The main, what is it?
Is the starting method.
Is what?
The starting method.
A static is a method, which is static. Great. All I wanted to hear was that is a method. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the structure you need to write your Java application. Okay, there's a public class, the file name, the public method. And then we just want to write a simple hello world. So it's a system.out. The print line is just a hello world. That's all. For Java, we have to end with a terminator.
hey.
Okay. Yes.
You didn't spell the word well.
All right. Okay, so now that we are done, we have to save the file. Control O. We enter to exit is Control X to exit. Okay. Now, how do you run Java from the command line? We'll use a Javac or Java C. We are compiling. And the file name is file.java. To compile a Java file, we use the command javac. I believe that when you hit on enter, it tells you that you need to install the file. You need to download the application before you can run the Java program. You are asked to do some sudo, right? Is that how it comes around? But you try the Java, it doesn't, I don't expect it to recognize the command. So you're asked to do the sudo install. Is that what you're saying? Tell me what you see. You have to install some package. Have you seen the package? Sudo app installs some Java default something. Are you with me at all?
Yes, sir. Please, some of us are not using the laptop. So.
You're expected to use a laptop and follow. Or maybe later you watch a video and follow. But what I'm saying is that for the first time, the Java will not be recognized unless you install some file. Okay, so default, something Java default. It's a big file because you have to install the compiler before it can recognize. But if you do the Java, if there are no errors, it compiles. Okay, so let me introduce an error in the code. For instance, if I fail to break the terminator, I just save the file, Control O, enter, and then exit. And I tried the Java. There was an error. The compiler or the editor is good enough. It's knowledgeable enough to tell you that there's an error in the code. Okay, so we have to fix that before the code will work. It's a syntax error. Okay, so I've solved it. I'll save the file, exit, and then I'll run my Java again. While there's no error, it runs without problem. And to run the file or to execute, we use a keyword Java. And then the file name, which is just file, without the extension. Okay, so to display whatever is in the Java file. So on your own, you should be able to run some basic Java application and all of that. Okay. Any questions so far? If you are watching, it may look easy. But when you begin to try, that's where you start experiencing the real deal. Any questions so far? Any questions? Let me have some feedback. Are you okay? I mean, so far, so good. So this is a Nano. Yes.
So if you want to check the file type, it will be file.
Okay. If you want to check the type of file,
Yeah.
so use a word
Then
file.
oh, so small f.
Are you asking your thing? So we want to follow you. Are you okay now? So if you use a keyword file, it's able to tell you the kind of file that is. Okay, it's a Java file. So file is a key, is a command in Linux to give us a fair idea the type of file. So I use file on the Java file, tell this as a Java file. I use file on the script. It tells you that it's a born again script. Okay, it tells you the type of file that is. All right, so that is a Nano editor, very simple and easy to use. Okay. All right, so our lights went off, but thankfully I have to connect to a different source. Okay, so let me. All right, so that is Nano. Nano is very simple and easy to use. And I'm sure we've been able to demonstrate the use of Nano. Okay, very easy and simple to use. So that is Nano for you. So now I want to talk about VI or Vim. So let me first exit from here. We want to talk about the other text editor, which is the most popular. Quite difficult, but it's more advanced. You can do more things with the VI than the Nano. Nano is for the novice, the beginners. If you want to show that you are good, you use VI text editor or Vim, VI or Vim. Okay, so you want to continue with the, so you can use, I prefer Vim is a modern version of the VI. Okay, so they follow a similar thing. To create a file, you use Vim and then a file name. Okay, I'm using Vim and then a file name. Let me call this sample3.txt. Vim and then a file name. VI also works, but I just want to use Vim. So for the first time, if you try the Vim, it will tell you that the file doesn't exist. So the command, it might not recognize the Vim command. So you have to do the installation. Sudo apt install Vim. It's a very simple file. Okay. It's a very simple file. Sudo apt install Vim to install. But alternatively, you can use VI. Okay. For VI is by default, you have VI there. By default, you have VI. But for the purposes of what we are doing, we are using Vim because that's a more advanced version. All right. So those of you following, are you able to install the Vim? You have to try the Vim before we progress. Are you able to install the Vim? Anyway, so when you open the VI or the Vim editor, this is what you see. Okay, it has two main modes. It has what we call the normal mode and then the set mode. The VI like I said, is quite advanced. It does more complicated things than the Nano. It has two main modes. We have the normal mode. The normal mode, we use it for navigation. And then we have the insert mode for typing. Okay. By default, when you open a file, it takes you to the normal mode. So as I've opened for the first time, I am at the normal mode. Okay. To insert a file, we have to go to the insertion mode. To go to the insertion mode, we press I for insert. To type, you first have to press I, which will take you to the insertion mode. So when I press I am in the insertion mode. So you see down here, insert. If you want to be sure where you are, if you're in the insertion mode, you see the insert. In the normal mode, we use the escape key. So when I press the escape key, it goes away. This shows that I'm in the normal mode. If I want to know that I'm in the insertion mode, you press I, and then you see the word insert. Okay? So I want to type something real quick. So the quick brown fox, okay, jumps over the lazy dog. So letting VI or Vim is simple and fun. Okay. So this is the insertion mode. And in the insertion mode, all we do is that we type. In the insertion mode, all we do is to type commands. That's all that we do in the insertion mode. We type. All right. Now to save the file, we have to be in the normal mode. Insertion mode, all we use insertion mode for is for typing. All we do in the insertion mode is to type. All right. If you want to save, you have to be in the command mode. Or you have to be in the normal mode by pressing escape. When you press escape, it takes you to the command mode. If you press I, it's the insertion mode. So we press escape to the command mode to save. To save in VI or Vim, we use the colon and then WQ. The W stands for write and the Q for quit. We want to save the file and then quit. Okay, so we do colon WQ. That's the way we save a file and then we quit. Okay, but I have to do that in the command mode. Sorry, the normal mode. So you press on enter and then that's it. To check whether the file is there, we can do ls. To view the content, we can do the cut and then I believe the file name is sample3.txt. It's case sensitive, so the least spelling mistake you do, that's it. So sample3.txt to view the file. Okay, so that's how we create a file in Vim or VI. Very simple. Just I have to know that we have two modes. We have two modes. Okay, we have the insert mode and then the command mode. So there's a lot of commands that we have to commit into memory. There's a lot of commands that we have to learn. Okay, so all that we are saying that in VI, or Vim, you have two main modes. The normal mode and then the insertion mode. Okay, the normal mode and then the insertion mode. So to save a file, these are the commands we use to save a file. The W is for save. Okay, at times you can quit. KO will be for quit, but remember I have to use a colon. And then you can save and quit. And I use a WQ or X. And then to force quit is this one here. So this is the way we save a file in, how do you call it, VI. Okay, so let's try another file. Let's create another file. So we use the keyword Vim. Like I said, I'm using Vim for all my demonstrations. So Vim. And then the file name. Okay. Let me call this file center.txt. Or let me call it ucc.txt. So when you open the file, by default, it takes you to the normal mode or the command mode. Okay. For you to insert something, you have to press I. Then you see the insert. Then you can begin to type. Okay. So maybe UCC is the #1 university. In Ghana and West Africa. Full stop. Okay. Now, how do I save a file in VI or Vim? If you want to save a file, how do you go about it?
Colon X.
Colon X.
You first have to go somewhere. You have to be in the normal mode. So you have to
Yes.
press escape. We go to escape. Make sure that you are in the normal mode first. So escape. So colon, we can use this X here. Okay. This will save and quit. Okay, it saves and quits. All right. To view the file back again, we can try to cut ucc.txt just to be sure. So that's how we create a file in VI. Okay, very simple. So let's create another file again. Vim. And then we call this one example2.txt. So I want to type a couple of things. So you press I. Maybe line 1. So Linux is powerful. We are just typing a couple of words. Vim is useful. Line 3. Command control editing. Line 4. Insert mode is for typing. And then line 5. Normal mode is for commands. Normal mode is for the command. Okay. So if you want to save a file,
Sir.
just to save. Yes, you have a question?
Sir.
Yes.
So can you type beyond the default space given?
Can you repeat that for me?
Can you insert beyond the default space given?
Can you insert before the beyond the default words?
Space, like the space given.
Of course you can. You can.
Oh, okay.
You just want to save the file. So we have to go to the normal mode. Okay. To save or to just write the file, we can use just a W. We don't want to quit. We just want to save. Okay. So we do the W and then we hit on enter. So in this case, we have saved the changes. Okay. So to do the navigation in VI, you want to do some navigations. So let's remember some of these keys. H, okay, I, K, L. If you type H, you are moving the cursor to the left. J will move the cursor down. K will move the cursor up, and then I will move it to the right. 0 will move to the start of the line. Dollar will move to the end of the line. JJ will go to the first line. We'll demonstrate how all these things work, okay? So in the command mode, if you want to move to the beginning of the line, okay, you have to make sure that you are in the command mode. And just to be sure, you press your escape to be sure. To move through the files, you can use the arrow keys. You can use the arrow keys to navigate. Likewise, you can use the H. H will move to the left. I will move to the, sorry, you have to make sure that you are in the, how do you call it? Okay, so I actually wants to insert. Anyway, so
I think it's the L to the
it should be rather L, right? Because,
yeah.
yeah, so L to the right. K will go up. J will go down. And then H will move to the left. You can use the arrow keys, but alternative is the use of these key characters, okay? And when you use the dollar sign, or, okay, so JJ. So let's move to the beginning of the line. If you type JJ, if you come down, JJ will move you to the beginning of the line. So let's assume you are at the last line. Pardon me for my voice today. Some code is disciplining me. JJ will move you to the beginning. If you type JJ, to move you to the beginning of the line. Okay. What about capital J? Where does it take you? If you type capital J,
End of the line.
to the last line. Okay. So capital J will take you to the last line. JJ to the first. Yeah, I just wonder why all these things. All right. So these are some basic commands to navigate around and all of that. Now let's try to do copy and paste. Let's try copy and paste. Let's try copy and paste. Which command we use for copy? If you want to copy, which command? So if you want to copy a line, if you want to copy, I'll give you access, I'll give you all the commands. If you want to copy a line, it's YY, or what we call a yank. If you want to paste, it's a small p. Okay, so let's try copy and paste to see. So we are in the command mode. on the normal mode, and we are the line 1. So to copy is YY. Then you move it to where you want to paste. Okay, you move it to where you want to paste. And then you just press on the P. Okay. You move it to where you want to paste, you press on the P to paste. If you want to copy 2 lines, you press 2YY.
Sir.
Yes.
But with the pasting, you are not in a session mode.
You have
can be anywhere to
the
do it.
command mode. I'm still the command mode or the normal mode. But it's still working. So I've done 2YY. Let's see. I want to paste after the line 1 here. So if I do P, it will paste after the cursor. Are you okay? You can try the 3YY. 3YY. You are copying 3 lines. You want to paste after the last line. Make sure the pointer or the cursor is at the last line, and then press on P. It will paste for you. Okay? So that is copy and paste. Copy and paste, okay, in VI. We can do copy and paste. Then we can try the deletion. If you want to delete. If you want to delete. So if you want to delete a character, or if you want to delete a word, or delete a line, or a couple of lines, okay? So you have the X for delete, DW for word, DD to delete entire line, or a number and then DD. Okay, so let's try that on the file. So if you want to delete a word, we are in the normal mode, okay? If you want to use any command, you have to make sure that you are in the normal mode. So to delete, we use a word. It's X. Sorry, it deletes a character. X deletes a character, okay? If you want to delete a word, which command do you use? If you want to delete a word, it's DW.
Yes.
DW. Okay. DW will delete a word. If you want to delete a line, which command do you use?
DD.
DD. DD. If you do 3 DD, it deletes 3 lines. Okay. It deletes 3 lines. It deletes 3 lines. So just to walk you through briefly that the VI or the Vim is most powerful, or it's more powerful than the Nano, because it gives you room to do a whole lot. But it's all about commands that we have to just commit it to memory. That what's most important is that it has 2 modes, the insert mode and then the normal mode. And then from there, you have to know the commands to use. If you want to save, or if you want to save and quit, or if you want to quit, everything is based on commands. If you want to navigate, okay, commands are there to navigate, or the arrow keys to work. Let's say you have about 1,000 lines. You want to go to the bottom. If you know your commands, it helps you. or if you want to go to the start of the line, okay? And then if you want to insert a text or append a text, these are some of the commands you use. Deletion and then copying, okay? There is also undo, redo, all right? So these are some of the commands you need to work around the text editors. All right, so let's quit and try do some more practical work. So I want to write a code, a C++ code. So first, let me quit. Okay. So colon Q for quit. Okay, or force quit. Colon Q and then the exclamation for force quit. All right, so we want to write a C++ code. We want to write a C++ code that displays the hello world. A C++ code to display hello world. But this time we are using vim or vi. So let's go ahead to create a file, vim. Let's call this example 5.c. Sorry, we want to write C rather. So I call my file example 5.c. That is the name of the file, okay? I want to write a simple C program that says hello world. So by default, it takes you to this is the normal mode. So if I want to insert, I press I for insertion, okay? And for C, very similar to C++, we start with include, the standard input output. .h. So that's the first statement in C. And then we call the main method. We open, we close. And then we just want to print hello world. So this one I use print F for printing. And all we are saying is hello world. All we are saying is hello world. And then we have return 0. So that's it. This is a code for, I guess it's similar to your C++, right? So this is a code for a simple hello world program in C. Okay. But at least we are using the Vim editor. To save the file, you go to your escape mode, press the escape. It's a colon WQ. You want to write and quit. Then we hit on enter. All right, so to compile, there is a compiler called G++. Then we call the name of the file, example 5.c, -o, And then let's say example 5. This is how we compile a file in Linux. G++ is a compiler, okay? The file name -o. To execute is // the file name, which is example 5. So that's the way we execute a C program in Linux. Okay, this is how we execute a C program in Linux. So at least for this exercise, we tried C, we tried Java, we tried a script as well. Any questions so far before we proceed? Do you have any questions or you're okay?
The meaning of the minus.
Hey,
Yes.
I don't understand the second line.
Where's the second line?
G++ example 5, the C minus O example 5.
Yeah, but are you able to run it? Is any of you able to
It
run it?
came back. Yeah, I did it. It came back. I don't understand.
You don't understand, but it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Who else have been running? Who else is able to make their code run? All right, I'll find it for you shortly. But that's the way we run a C code in Java. Sorry, in C, a C code. But the G++, you know what that is?
No.
G++
A comparison.
is a compiler. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just a compiler. Just a second, I'm trying to look for it for you.
Yeah.
So it's the -o with a file name, okay? It just says output and executable name. It starts for an output executable name called. So this one will create an executable file. The -o is a way of creating an executable file with a name. That's what it stands for. All right. Yeah, any other question? Do you have any other question? Any other question or you're okay? So the very last thing we do, and then we'll call it. Pardon me for my voice once again.
Yeah.
So let's, all right, so let me switch my internet briefly. My light is back on, so let me switch my data quickly. Just a second. All right. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's move away from this directory. We want to create a new directory, okay? Let's create a new directory. Let's call it IT300. So mkdir IT300. And let's navigate into this new directory. So if we try the PWD, we have a home directory, and then we have a directory called IT300. So create this directory and navigate into this directory, IT300. IT300. want to type a command, so you tell me what the command means, okay? So what is the meaning of this command? Or what would this command do? cp/etc/service, and then what would this command do?
So, copy
Yes.
practice of service from etc.
Can you repeat that for me?
Copy practice.
Okay. No, like
So,
I'm making a copy of a file called service, and I'm giving it the name practice. Okay. So essentially, we are making a copy of a file with the name practice. So we enter. Okay, so I believe the name should be services, not service. Services. Okay, so we do ls. So we have a file there. So I made a copy of a file, which is under the directory etc. Okay, so let me check the contents of the file. I can do cat practice. It's a whole lot of file, okay? It's a whole lot of file. So make sure you create a copy of that file. We want to use it for practice. So I'm just making a copy of a file, and then that's it. If you do ls, you can do ls minus lh. What happens with the ls minus lh? There's a command ls minus lh. What happens? Observe and tell me, what formation does it give you? ls minus lh. At least we
It
see the
gives you the
size
time and
of the
details
file.
of the current directory.
Yeah, the size. What's put at the size of the file, okay? The size. All right. So let's try this command, more. More. More and the file name. What does it show us? So the more command shows you page by page. Okay. It shows you page by page. So this is just one page. If you want to go to the next page, you use a space bar. So when you have a long file, and if you want to view it space by space, you use the more command. So if you use a space bar, it takes you to the next page that way. Okay. If you want to quit, you press the Q to quit. Okay, you press the Q to quit. Now I want to count the number of lines. To count the number of lines, we can use the words WC space minus L and the file name. Sorry, the number of lines, not the words, it's the lines. If you want to count the number of lines, you use WC space minus L to get you the number of lines. We can do WC, the file name. It gives us some details. Who can guess what the number stands for? At least the first number, we know what it is, right? That's the number of lines. So the next one will stand for what? The next one will be number of what?
Words.
Words. Okay. And the last one?
Characters.
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 Exactly. Okay. So this WC can really give us a fair idea. If you have a long file that you want to process, these are some of the things you do to it, okay? Then we can try head. What do you think happens with the head? Head. Head shows us something. What happens to the head? Yes, any idea with the head? It shows us, so how many lines are shown here? Count the number of lines. How many are they?
7.
10 lines. So if you want to see the first 10 lines, you use the keyword head. You can equally use the tail and the file name. It shows you the last 10 lines. Maybe you're interested in showing the first 20 lines. You can do head space minus n and then 20. Then you call the file. If you want to show the first 20 lines. So when you have a long file, these are some of the things you can do to navigate through the file. Commands, okay? Now let's try and search for the occurrence of a word. We want to search for a word, okay? We can use this command, grep. Grep. You want to search for the occurrence of the word TCP. So we use grep and then the word in brackets and then the file name. Then we hit on enter. Okay. So this will show a list of all the occurrences of the word TCP in the file. Wherever the file exists, it will pull it up, just the line. Let's say I want to search for the occurrence of another word. So grep is a keyword. We want to search for the occurrence of the word UDP. And then the file name, practice. It's a pull where the words occur to pull it for you. To pull all of that for you. Maybe you want to count the number of times the word appear. How many times does the word appear? Okay. So we can still use a grep. This time minus C. And then we can use the UDP. And then the file name. This one will count the number of times the word occurs in the document. So this case is 97 times. Okay, 97 times. We can also search for the occurrence of either TCP or UDP. If you want to search for either of them, we use the keyword grep minus capital E. Then we write the TCP. I'm looking for a pipe key. Do we know the pipe key?
Another part.
Hi. All right. I'm looking for a pipe key, but I don't know why my keyboard is. I can't see where the pipe key is. But do you know where the pipe key is? Interesting. Anyway, the pipe key is that one that looks like a straight line. Anyway. Let's move on. All right. So these are some of the editing you can do using the grep. Now let's open a file in Nano. Sorry, let's open a file in Vim. So let's do VM and then practice. Let's open a file in VM. Let's open a file in VM. Now we can show the number lines. We can show the number lines. By default, it's not showing, but we can show it, okay? To do that, we use the colon. And we say, oh, set number. We use a keyword colon set number. So at times for editing purposes, Vim can give us the opportunity to set number lines. So set number will set the number lines. If you want to remove it, colon, and so set no number. We can do set no number. And the number will go away. Set no number, okay? If you want to search within the VI of Vim, if you want to search for the occurrence of a word, we just use the /. Okay, if you want to search in the command mode or normal mode, /, you type TCP, for instance, and I hit on enter. Okay, it will take you to the occurrence of the word. If you want to find the next word, you press on the small n to take you to the occurrence of the next word. Okay, let's say if you want to search for, UDP. Okay, /UDP. And then you enter. Okay, If you want to see the next occurrence, you use the N, character N, to take it to the next occurrence of that word. So the last thing we want to do is to do find and replace. We want to do find and replace. Then we can call it find and replace. We want to do find and replace. So to do find and replace, we use a colon. And then we use a percentage sign S /. I want to find the word TCP. And I want to change it to capital TCP /G. So this command, what it does is that it finds the word TCP and changes it to a capital TCP /G. So for this particular document or text, this file, it's changing all the occurrence of TCP to a capital TCP. Okay, so I issue this command and we press on enter. It tells us that 224 substitutions. So what it means that it has changed the occurrence of the word TCP from the lowercase to the uppercase. Okay. So essentially, this is some of the ways we use the text editors. Whether we are using it for editing or to change some config file or to do some basic things. This is how we use it. So take your time and go over it, and I'm sure you'll be fine or you'll be okay with it. Any questions before we go? Do you have any questions on the text editors? Nano or VI or Vim?
Good.
Yes.
The commands that don't relate to what it means. It's kind of like confusing.
Which commands?
All of the commands, all of it.
Starting from where exactly?
So all Ubuntu commands, all of it.
It's confusing.
Yeah, really like.
Well, the fact is that you have to learn to get
it
used to it. When you start practicing, you get used to the commands. So you are learning a whole lot of them. But in a real environment, at least you may have a guide. We have a reference material that you can use to refer to the commands to use. Okay. But the whole idea is that everything you want to do, it's on the command line. That's the whole idea. Any questions? But practice will make you better. You have to practice. That's the only thing. You practice over and over again, and then you'll be fine. So take your time and go over it. I'm sure you'll be okay. All right. So let's stop here.
So please,
Yes.
I want to ask the video, where will the video be posted for us to access?
Oh,
The recorded session.
You have access to all of it, or you don't?
We have.
You do. There is a Google Drive for the class. You have a Google Drive where you have access to every material. So let me see. So drive.google. I'll share the link with you guys. So you have access to all the materials. So this is a link for you guys. You have everything we've done. They are all here. Are you not aware of the link? Are you aware or you are not?
Me, I'm not.
So we are aware.
Oh.
It's in the group there.
So everything is there. But let me share again on Zoom. But you have everything. You have everything. So I'm sharing one more time so that you can look at it. All right, so just go practice what you have done, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Okay, we'll meet again next week to continue from here. I think the face-to-face will help than the online. Because most of you are just watching without practicing. So we'll
Face to
see you.
face.
Pardon me?
I said face to face.
Yeah, next week we'll do face-to-face.
Sir,
All right.
sir,
Yes.
our people.
So where are you now?
Okay.
Where are you
Our
guys
people.
now?
I mean, like next week, you can we
Oh,
see?
it's ready. So you next week I'll bring it. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
It's ready next week. Next week you'll get it.
I hope it was great.
But you know what you did. Don't worry. Next week you'll get your papers, okay? All right. So thank you
Thank
guys.
you, sir.
We'll see you guys next